Did you know that 4 out of 5 jobs are landed through networking? So, if you want to find a job quickly, your main activity should be connecting to as many people as possible, starting today. Speak with your former bosses, ex-colleagues, and yes, even recruiters. Let them know you're exploring new roles and ask them to keep an eye out for you. Stay networked and you'll be in a new job in no time. Learn this and many other powerful tips with our Land Your Dream Job program. It's an online course that includes a comprehensive toolkit consisting of CV templates, resume checklists, and many other useful tools. The best part about this program is a 3-month email guide that will help keep you on track as you look for your next role. Indeed, your dream job is waiting for you. Click this link now.
Good morning, Singapore. Good morning, everyone on LinkedIn, and good morning if you are tuning in once again to our lovely LinkedIn live show, which we call the CareerSuccess Show. Good morning. My name is Adrian, and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International. And as always, we have Yen, our co-founder, in the next room.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yes, it's Friday. I'm so happy. Have a coffee.
Yeah, and not only is it Friday, Yen, it's the long weekend. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I totally forgot. That's great. Fabulous.
Yeah, I know. And the
I need more
amazing thing
coffee.
the amazing thing is that you've got to better enjoy this long weekend because the next holiday after this is all the way on December 25th, which is quite a while. November, no breaks in between, man.
But do you feel like everyone's kind of slowing down and a little bit more relaxed? Because a lot of people are all off on holidays already because they have removed the COVID restrictions somewhat.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing my friends' Facebook feeds. They're all on vacation.
Right.
I'm feeling envious, and it's. I mean, our time will come. It's in December, so
You're going off early December, and I'm going off for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's right. So that's good. But the nice thing about year end is that it's time to slow down. It's time to take stock.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and a lot of times we do take a lot of things for granted, and we don't realize that some things we are doing could be hurting our brand, could be hurting our career moves, isn't it?
Most of the time, it's not that they're doing it deliberately to hurt themselves. It's probably because they neglected paying attention to what they're putting out on LinkedIn or to what they're saying, or they didn't put a lot of thought into it. So it's a lot of miscommunication, if anything, or misbranding, if there's such a thing,
Misbranding.
Without truly understanding the perception that they are projecting into the marketplace. It's usually due to neglect.
Yeah. So as far as branding is concerned, I mean, there are two areas which we want to talk about today because it's something that we are seeing increasingly happening online, especially now with LinkedIn becoming more like a weirder cousin of Facebook. Okay, it's like pictures of stuff that shouldn't really be on LinkedIn, but it's on LinkedIn. And even some of the stuff shouldn't even be on Facebook, but it's still on LinkedIn. And there's so much humble bragging and everything. It's become noisy, hasn't it?
It has. But it's still the tool to be used. So you have to manage it, because if you don't, then you don't know what people are talking about. You don't know what people might be saying about the market, the trends, things that are happening. And you should take the space, lean in, so to speak.
Lean in. I agree.
Lean in. It's yours to take, right? If you choose to take a step back, then you cannot blame anyone else for your lack of progress.
That's true. And that's why, we want to talk a bit about that, but we also want to talk about your own professional branding, especially with regards to your positioning. When someone lands on your LinkedIn page or when they look at your CV, and if the hiring manager cannot, for the likes of them, figure out what you are, what you do, you're not even gonna get that first conversation. And we want to highlight to you some real life fake examples. Okay, real life examples, but fake photos, fake names. Okay, because privacy
The
is on
issues are more common than you think, and these fake profiles are very real. In that we've seen versions of them across the board. Yeah, but you were saying that when a hiring manager or a potential recruiter lands on your profile, either on LinkedIn or it has somehow landed on something that you've posted on social media, whatever the platform, like on Twitter or something, or they land on your LinkedIn and they look at your photo. I mean, it's not so bad if they cannot figure you out, but what if they think you? What if they go? What if they go like ew?
Wait, you're talking about the photo itself.
Yes. The other day we saw that photo, and remember I showed it to all of you, and you all went.
Yeah, shouldn't be. Okay, so it's not a Facebook page. You don't use filters to the point where you look so pop-ish. Or okay, your LinkedIn is a professional landing page. Okay, so always remember it has to be professionally done. The photo we saw was a really Facebook quality type. Okay, we're not saying the person looks weird, but it just shouldn't be that way. Okay, so. And also, it should be a realistic representation of yourself. I mean, if you turn up for the interview and suddenly you go like, hey, wait a minute, I thought someone else was coming. And it's happened before.
Yeah. And a lot of us, through sheer neglect, our photos are 20 years old on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn
has been around. Yes.
Last couple of last year, until last year, you're using a 10-year-old photograph.
It is still a 10-year-old photograph.
You're looking better now. So,
yes, it is. I confess. But yeah, I don't think much has changed except a couple more wrinkles. And yeah, like you're right. We should look like ourselves, isn't it? We don't want to. Yeah, we've heard a lot of feedback with hiring managers. They go like, "Hang on, I mean, the person who just turned up did not look anything like a LinkedIn photo."
Hey, her older brother, his older brother turned up for the interview. Not that thing. So it's like his uncle turned up for the interview. It's oh no. But anyway, we digress. We're being very cheeky here. Okay, but
I think it's too much coffee.
The photograph. It's a long weekend ahead. That's making me go a bit bonkers. But it's important. Okay, your branding is important, and especially with your positioning and your career story. We know of individuals who have been trying, for instance, to pivot into a different industry, and unfortunately, their branding is not strong enough, not being presented strong enough to be in that industry, and as a result, they're having difficulty breaking through into the industry. They're not even getting conversations or even being looked at.
Imagine, right, that the entire process, right? We've spoken about this many times. It's a long journey. First of all, there's this whole career thing. We're talking about 40 years. But let's go back to job search / perhaps career progression. And if you think about that process, there's still the evaluations. There's that part where they will at some point interrogate you on your competencies, but you're not even getting considered at the front gate.
You're not even being let in by the bouncer at the front gate. Right? You're listening to music from the outside of the club.
There's still the gauntlet to manage, and that gauntlet consists of 5 evaluation sessions, and perhaps a test or two, an assessment or two, and the final meetings, final interviews. So if you're not even getting that initial start gate consideration, chances are going to be really slim. And that's just pure professional branding.
That's true. And that's why you really need to work on your branding and your messaging behind it. Okay. We're going to show you some examples in a short while, and you can have a look and see what exactly we mean. Okay. So is your professional brand hurting your career move, especially if you want to move into another industry? Okay. If you want to move,
we had questions, Adrian. We've had questions. Sorry to interject, because beef lasagna is just like, and Colgate. Questions from others I've heard when we saw the slide, right? Is this real? And where did you get this from?
It's people are still trying to investigate whether Colgate tried to apparently Colgate Palmolive tried to move into the food industry, and they failed. And one of the earlier ideas they actually were thinking of was beef lasagna, but apparently the product never went to market, obviously, but it was tested apparently, allegedly. Okay, so it is. So someone decided to put both together in a museum, and Colgate beef lasagna. See, so the branding just doesn't work unless you
So
want something
was
to eat before you sleep.
so this
Later,
was
then
a
brush your
joke,
teeth.
right? This was
It's kind of a
satirical.
joke. It's kind of a joke. See, so
Okay,
so
good.
likewise, if you want to move into the technology sector, but you've never been in the tech sector, okay, it doesn't help if your photograph, okay, is one that is taken like your passport photo from 1984, kind of, and these sort of things don't really gel with the image of the role that you want to get into. You see, so you have to be very careful and mindful about your branding, especially if you want to do a different quadrant switch. Okay, if you want to
Yeah.
move into a different role, different industry.
Yeah, and that's why we see a lot of product brands are very different than the corporate brand. And I think maybe it's just the juxtaposition of Colgate and beef lasagna. I'm
Yes,
thinking
that's right.
minty fresh beef. Wow.
Would you eat that? Oh no, it's like
Who
it's
knew minty fresh beef?
it still beats eating curry flavored ice cream. So anyway,
Oh, ew.
okay,
Hang on, maybe there's
ew.
something there.
So anyway, before we progress further, here's a pitch. We have a plug for our book. Our book is out at Times the Bookshop as well as Kinokuniya. Okay, I understand it's going very fast. So pop down to Kinokuniya, or you can visit us at thecareerparadox.com and order your set now. Okay, if you order at careerparadox.com, you actually get an autographed set. Okay, by Yen and myself. And we're hoping that you can grab a copy and read it, because the feedback has been excellent.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great tips in the book that will hopefully help you in your career and others as well. So if you find that you've benefited from it, please share it as well. I mean,
no. Share it as in buy a copy, give to your friends. Don't go and share it.
Okay. I was just thinking like
sell books, yeah.
After you finish, you just pass it around. It's fine.
No. You keep it and you buy another copy for your friend. But anyway, but in all kidding aside, it is a great Christmas gift for your friends, relatives, and if you're a boss and you want to get rid of your stuff, this is the best book to give someone as a hint.
No. Actually, if you think about it, right, when people who gift books for whatever reason, birthdays and Christmases, right, the choice of book speaks volumes, isn't it? It was like if you imagine gifting someone How to Speak to Anyone or The Art of Small Talk, what are you trying to say?
Personal Hygiene 101.
But our book, seriously, to our listeners out there, this is really I guess a commentary on the things that we should manage in ourselves to be more career agile within your organization. So I personally always feel that exiting a company is usually the last resort. I mean, there are so many things that you can do
exactly.
to leverage and maximize and optimize while you're currently employed in your current employer to maximize, because you already know what buttons to push. You've got all your friends, you've got your contacts, you've got your stakeholders, you understand the culture. So again, don't quit yet.
Don't quit
Think
yet.
twice.
Okay?
Yes.
Or even if you want to quit, make sure you're quitting for the right reasons and you're joining the right company for the right reasons as well. So everything's all in the books. Okay, we're not going to spoil the fun. Go get a copy now. It's a lot of interesting materials in there. Lots of real life case studies, like the case studies we're going to hop in now. So go grab the book, thecareerparadox.com, if you want to get a signed copy. Otherwise, pop down to the bookshops and they should be ready.
Amazon.
Or Amazon, amazon.sg. Okay,
yes,
cool.
SG.
So before we even talk about branding, it's what exactly is a brand? So Yen, what's your definition of a brand?
I think a brand is what people think of you, or what people think of you when you're not in the room. When you're not there.
This conversation this morning, actually, wasn't it?
It's like, what do you remember about somebody?
What do you think about Adrian? What do you think about Yen?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's just people's perception, and along with that perception comes a lot of descriptions, whether they're fair or not. It is perception, and sometimes their perception is not quite the one you would like.
Yeah, I exactly agree with you. You know, it's perception, not reality.
It is
And
perception.
like Doctor Strange in the Marvel universe, though, you can actually warp and bend reality into perception. It's all about perception, you see.
Yeah,
And oftentimes, branding is more perception than reality. For instance,
yeah,
Apple used to be known. I'm going to offend a lot of Apple users here, but Apple, when you talk about Apple, people talk about innovation. But my
yes.
question is Apple still innovative? You see,
Yeah, but what
after
they've done from way back when is still carrying on, isn't it? The brand
correct.
equity is
So
so
they were
strong.
innovative, but are
Yeah,
they still innovating? But
yeah,
people still get Apple, they still want to queue up overnight for the iPhone 14, 15, 16. Okay. You'll pay $600 for a wheel, for their
yes.
CPU, stuff like that.
It's
Because the brand is so strong. And that's what happens when you build a good brand. You see, and that's amazing. That's why I
brand
love
loyalty.
brand also is there.
You
So
get
that's
brand
why
loyalty.
it's important for us professionally to have a brand and to be able to present that brand so that our audience, our target market that we want to sell ourselves into understands what we are,
Yes.
and with a lot of clarity. So you don't have to go in at an interview and explain one more time why you are suited for the role. Because if you have your branding message upright and front and center, aligned to
Yeah.
what the user understands, it's good, right?
Exactly. And up till today, we still associate Volvo with safety.
Yeah.
Up till today, the branding is helpful in I guess giving the hiring leaders comfort, knowing that you are who you say you are, because sometimes people don't trust what you say. But if other people say the same thing, then I'm like, maybe half my risk is reduced, or I've reduced some of that risk because of that perception. Not to say that you're not capable of doing the job, but sometimes when you're there just banging on your chest, going like, I'm great at this, people
Correct.
are less likely to believe you.
Yeah. And one of the important things is that as veteran headhunters and recruiters that we are, okay, a lot of times when we see a candidate's profile pop up, either on LinkedIn or in the form of a CV or even an email, it has to pass the sniff test before we even go on to the
Yeah.
next page. Okay,
Yeah.
if it doesn't smell like what we're looking at, okay, it just goes okay next. Right.
Explain the sniff test, Adrian.
Uh,
What exactly are you sniffing?
sniff a CV. So there's an old saying, American saying, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, it's a duck, right? But if it doesn't walk like a duck, it doesn't quack like a duck, it's not a duck. And if I'm looking for ducks, okay, if it doesn't quack, if it's got 4 legs, it's not a duck. It could be a mutant duck, okay, but it's not a duck, and therefore I will not review it. And that's why the
Yeah.
branding is very important.
Yes, and for me, the sniff test phrase comes from when you check the quality of your milk in the fridge. It's been sitting there a while, and you're thinking,
Oh
is it safe to
goodness.
drink? And then it's
That's
called
why milk. That's why milk bottles have expiry dates. Yeah.
it's
That number
called
there is.
right. There is an expiry date, but it is sometimes a suggestion rather than an actual rigid
Oh
law.
wow! So that's how you get.
Especially if it's sealed or if it's just a day over, I think it's sometimes okay. But I'm talking about leftovers. Leftovers, and you've like left it out in the open, and you kind of
only
open,
because your kids have been drinking from the spout. That's why. Okay.
and then you
Very
take a sniff. Okay, so the initial sniff is what we call a filter. So when we look at your resume, we're already initially filtering with 5 seconds, like a blink.
5 seconds
We
at most. Okay. When you make a CV,
filter whether or not this person is who he or she says they are, whether or not they're who they say they are, because I'm having issues with the gender neutral terms, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
No, but you have a point, you see, and I can share with you from a personal point of view, from a headhunter's perspective. Okay, not only do we have a 5-second sniff test, even if you pass the sniff test, okay, we start creating stories about your profile, and we start thinking whether or not it's aligned or not.
Yes.
You see, and therefore,
Yeah.
there's a second layer of should I talk to this guy even? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to show you some interesting examples. So once again, not a real person. but similar situation. Okay, if you look at this person's profile, from auditor, became a tax executive, regional tax, he's a tax guy, right? But the past 3 years, he's been doing commercial roles. So what is he? He's undecided. What is he? He's
He's
been applying
he's an
jobs.
accounting qualified individual who now
Yeah.
works in commercial, but then it doesn't really say here, not enough detail on what aspects of that commercial bit. What is it that when we say it's commercial, what does it mean? Because the context, if it's still in tax and he's
Yeah.
giving advice or he's just talking to customers and managing stakeholders, it's a little bit less incongruent, right? But it's not
Yeah.
clear.
And the thing is this, let me ask you, okay, the viewer, if you were hiring a commercial director, okay, will you hire this guy? Because he's only has about 2.5 years of commercial director work, okay, leadership. Okay, in the past 2 years, he's been out of a role, supposedly, okay? He's been taking a break. Is he the most solid commercial director you can find? Answer is probably not, because you can get a lot of people with a lot more experience. And then, if he's applying for a regional tax director role, you might think that his last role was like 6 years ago.
2016, yeah.
Yeah, 6 years ago, So, so you see, that's what happens when you don't sort your branding out, okay? And you don't, and it is what it is. This is the truth that this is, but how then do you spin and weave the story about what you are and how you can form your branding and your message to what they are looking for. Okay, that requires a lot of finesse, which is what we do as career strategists. We sit down and we help you develop your brand. So if you are in a situation where you cannot decide whether or not you're A or you're B, or maybe just by situation, by circumstance,
I think he's got more issues than just the branding, right? The branding is just one of them, which is our topic for the day.
Actually, yeah, it is right. It's
He's
a
got
symptom of a bigger issue at hand, right?
yeah, he's got a couple of other issues that he needs to clear up. So why take on more trouble than you need?
Yeah,
because those other issues are going to be massive obstacles.
Yeah.
Being his what did he do during the break?
Yeah.
Right. And also
You know
whether
what,
or not he's out of touch.
His underlying issue, okay, is an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Even when you sit down and ask him, okay, and it's a real person, okay, real client of ours, we asked him, what exactly are you? He cannot define, okay.
Yeah.
And that is where, if you are in a situation right now where if I were to ask you, what exactly are you? And let's take a quick pause and you ask yourself, okay, of our listeners, viewers out there. I know we got quite a big crowd watching already, okay. If I were to ask you, what are you able to say, bam, I am this? Okay, if you're not able to, then maybe you need some career clarity, which is what we provide as part of our career partner program. So you can always reach out to us. We can sit down and help you because collectively, Yen and I have more than 45, or maybe something so old, more than 4 decades of career coaching and headhunting experience to be able to share with you and give you an outsider's perspective on what you need to see.
Can I just clarify on Adrian's question for all our listeners? His question was, what are you? I'm going to add another layer. What are you professionally? Because he asked me, what am I? I'm someone's mom. I'm someone's caregiver. I'm someone's driver. I'm someone's judge. I keep the peace. I'm also, daughter and wife and all that, right? So a cousin and sister. So we all have multiple identities. So when it's the question here is, what are you professionally, or what do you want to be known for professionally?
Yeah, and more importantly, also, what do you want to be? I want
to be happy. I want to be free.
Professionally, okay, professionally. What do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, right now, if you're in your 30s and your 40s, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always tell this story. My daughter, when she was in primary school and there was a career day, and she came home crying. She said, "Daddy, I'm very sad. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up." And I said, "Don't worry, Mia. I know a lot of 40-year-olds who have the same problem. So." It's quite normal. We don't know what we want to be because things change, people change, the market changes. So, but you need to have the clarity of what you want to be so that you can become. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds so deep. Hey, man. Oh, I love myself. I'm going to use that quote. Okay.
You
need to know what you want
so
to
that you can be. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. That's weird. One of the answers I get is, I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want.
And that's good enough also, right? In a way.
No, it's not. It's not.
No? Yeah. So?
By sheer elimination, that could give us some direction, but you still need to put your foot down at
It
some
depends.
point
It depends.
and
Okay,
make a
Jen, it depends.
decision.
It depends. If I know what I don't want, and I don't want to go into corporate or start my own business, then half the options are off the table already. So that could help sometimes, right?
Or I don't want to go into finance, which means, holy cow, I've got so many other things to go on.
Yeah, you got a whole universal
Too
set.
many.
Stunts,
It's
finance.
not helpful.
But in the absence of not knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want is a good start, I guess.
It's a good start. Yes,
It's a good
yes.
start.
But
And then
you got to
we will
chew a
help you
little
to
bit
be-
more, think about it. One of our key programs, the Career Clarity, Career Partner programs, really help our clients sort of whittle through the
We've
weeds.
helped hundreds and hundreds of
Go
clients
through the
already.
weeds,
Amazing.
figure it out. Sometimes it's really about a decision, and I'm a big fan of keeping our options open. But even then, you need a segment from which to target to decide which ones your gut gravitates towards and which one is like repelling.
That's true.
Right? Yeah.
True. And one thing that's really funny is that for this individual that we see over here, he cannot decide whether he wants to be a tax person or whether he wants to be a commercial leader, and he chases after both. Okay,
go with the one that pays more.
May not be the one that you're happy with, right?
That's true. So complex.
So that's why there's an old saying that if you chase after two chickens, you're gonna catch neither.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so don't just decide which chicken you want to go after or which rabbit you want to go after and just grab it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then we have another case. True story. Okay, business school graduate, the Rolling Stone. You look at a profile.
Yeah.
And when you look at a profile, sales, logistics.
If I'm a hiring manager,
what's the branding you label on her?
It wasn't even the branding. I'll go like, holy cow, I'm not going to hire her because I don't trust her to stay. So the branding is a Rolling Stone job hopper. It's a very unpleasant label. Label and brand slightly different. Label is just like a one-word catch-all, which is not necessarily the best thing for all of us. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the label here is an unhealthy one. It means that the person is viewed as a flight risk.
Yeah, flight risk is a good word. But even beyond being a flight risk, you know what we said, the second point here, which is there's no solid skill and no single domain. If you have been in a particular domain for 15 years, but you've been jumping roles, at least maybe you can probably say, I've been in the insurance sector for 18 years, 15 years, but I've been moving around.
Yeah.
But this individual has neither the skill nor the domain to call her own. And that's why if you are in such a situation, once again, we need to understand what's the underlying cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes it's really hard because if this individual is thinking of finally growing roots, that it's a little bit of an obstacle trying to get people to believe and to give this person a chance. The only thing this person has is perhaps a soft skill, and that soft skill is this agility and versatility. Ability to try something at least for a while, willing to learn. But these are all very soft skills, so not tangible enough for a hiring leader to feel secure.
Yeah, and maybe not at that senior level. So it's not hopeless. Okay, we have helped countless people in such situations as well. It's all got to do with your own career strategy first. Once you've sorted out your career strategy, okay, then you will be able to understand how to navigate the next moves. But if you find you're in a similar situation like this, go look at some of our previous episodes. We have a topic where we talked about what to do if you the excuse me, are you a job hopper episode. Go and search on that. Okay, so once again, a branding like this hurts you, and therefore you need to know how to shift your branding. Okay, it's not easy. We can't tell you over the air right now, but we are able to help.
Yeah, I was just highlighting the fact that you already have a history and you shouldn't omit. Please don't. If you get caught in a lie where you lied on your resume or your LinkedIn, right? It's just the worst thing ever. So the fact that you already have a history, switching the narrative is it's almost like what PR people do, right? To try to say something good out of something not so good, right? So the strategy is a little bit more challenging, not impossible. Not impossible, not easy. Yeah.
Not easy, but
don't hide your history because it is what it is.
So anyway, for those of you who just joined us, my name is Adrian, and thanks for joining in. We got a really huge crowd today. Thanks for joining in. I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International, and Ian is my co-founder and executive director, and also super coach. Okay,
Thank you.
together we are Career Agility International, and we help individuals like yourself to achieve career clarity so that you can enjoy the career success that matters most to you in your life, so that you can enjoy all the other elements in your life. Okay, careers are important, but careers should not be your prime focus in your life. So let us
That's
teach
right.
you and show you how to manage your careers so that you can have more mind space, more emotional energy, okay, to spend on things that matter more to you, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, like the weekends. I mean, let's enjoy the weekends for what it is, and then look forward to
Yeah.
Mondays or Tuesdays in this
Long weekend
instance.
coming up. Yay, long weekend coming
Right?
up. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
if your work is not pleasant, you can't enjoy your weekends. You can't enjoy your evenings either, and then
Sure.
you just end up. I mean, if you have a healthy coping mechanism, that's one thing. But drowning your sorrows in things that are
One thing
like
I just
food,
have a
overeating.
discussion. Enough,
Yes.
really, enough. Okay, stop fantasizing on the weekend. It's gonna come here soon, Uh, one thing, I was talking to a client who just joined us about 6 weeks ago, and the thing she said to me was interesting. She said, Adrian, when I came to the both of you, okay, it was not for solution. It was originally for solutions, but what I got was peace of mind. And I think, just knowing that there are experts out there who can guide you along this very somewhat perilous journey sometimes, okay, it does help a lot. So do reach out to us, info@careeragility.org, with your career challenges, career situations. Our teammates are always happy to stand by, okay? And let's look at this final individual. Let's look at his profile, okay? Ian, you want to give a quick commentary on his profile? What do you think?
So started in HR, he went into training, and then he went into business development for training, and then he decided to go into freelancing. So it's interesting that he would consider training or education or freelance, because perhaps there was something happening. And the thing about the market judging someone who goes into portfolio careerism, I'm hoping that he does more than just freelance. But I don't know. The question is, if he wants to continue in training, it's not impossible. But if he applies for an HR position, then the answer is probably unlikely. Not considered for L&D. So that's going to be different.
And also because
it's not too bad. I think this story is not too bad.
It's not too bad. It depends on one question, okay? It depends on whether or not his career strategy, he was following his career strategy in the first place. And if his career strategy has always been that I want to run my own training operations, I want to be a stand-up trainer in something, then this is perfect, because then he's got both the HR space, the L&D space, the sales experience, because he's the BD director from 17 to 20, right? So he knows how to run his own company. So it would make sense if that is his career story. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is this: if it was part of a career strategy, then by all means this looks perfect, But if it isn't, or maybe his career strategy has changed in recent times, given the new COVID situation, maybe I don't want to do my own business, I want to go back to HR. Then he needs to have some nudge back. You need to have a narrative on how to get it done.
Yeah, I think a lot of our clients have this sort of story. Quite a few have, because of COVID, gone offline a little bit, and then now trying to get back in. The shorter the offline period, the easier it is. But the longer that offline period, and whether or not there's been any activity that's relevant to your ultimate career strategy, it's a time break that sometimes requires a little bit more explanation, a little bit more positioning. Quite a few of our clients have that story. You okay, Adrian?
I'm okay. It's been dry here today. I need to get my coffee and warm water, but thanks for asking. It's important for us that we know our own career direction and we have a career strategy. And if you do not know how to put one together, come talk to us. But it's also important that someone on the outside, when I, as a recruiter or as a hiring manager, I look at this profile and I'm thinking, should I hire this person for a sales role? Maybe not.
No.
Should I hire this person for an HR role?
No.
Maybe not. Okay. Should I hire him as a trainer? Then I need to decide what is he training in? Is he an
Yes.
expert in space?
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is this, right? If we're talking way at the start of the process, I've got 300 resumes to go through, and I look at this profile, I will probably not give him a second glance because there will be other current ones that would be more relevant. So again, to all our listeners out there, sometimes it's really not about your competency, because if you do have what it takes to do the job, but you don't look like you can do the job, you're not even going to be considered for that initial shortlist.
You
Right?
don't
So
pass the sniff test.
that
This person will not
shortlist.
pass the sniff test.
So then people start railing against the injustice of the world. They never get back to me, even though I look like I can do the job, even though I know I can do the job. And that's where I need us all to be kind to ourselves and understand that the hiring people or the people who do the filtering are just checking boxes. And there are others who look better fit, right? They come from the organizations that we're targeting. So if I'm a hiring leader, I'd be targeting my direct competitors, people within my domain. And so if I see someone who comes from the organization, that person's going to be the first one I interview. You know?
And that's why it is important for us to sort our branding out, even right at the front end of it, even before we go into the job search mode. Okay, so once again, like what Valerie says, Valerie is our client engagement director, and she's saying, if you need any questions, just email us info@careeragility.org. Always happy to help. We have lots of solutions for you. We've been running for the past 5-6 years already. So, one thing that really brings me a lot of joy, okay, is being able to flip through LinkedIn pages of our alumni, our clients who have come to us in 2017, 2018, and see how their careers have progressed. It's so amazing, It just fills my heart with such warmth and joy.
You make it sound like everyone is going up. Yes, I agree that there's an upward trajectory. Again, careers are bumpy journeys. Like there'll be ups and downs.
Bumpy journeys,
The point is that we have a community to support you in your journey, so that the bumpiness is less bumpy.
It's less bumpy. It's not going to be bumpless. It'll be less bumpy. Okay, so the big question ultimately is this what can you do? Okay, you need to ask yourself about your brand message. What is my professional brand telling the market? Is it aligned with the job that I want to get into? Is it aligned to in this industry I want to get into? If you want to move into, say, data analytics, or you want to move to technology, then you have to be able to highlight technology projects. You need to be able to showcase why you should pass the first sniff test.
Yeah, because there are more obstacles coming. No, this question is so easy to ask, but it's really hard to answer. How do I fix my brand? Because your career comes with a history of its own. You cannot go backwards. You cannot go back in time and redo it, right? So you can only move forward. And sometimes the truth can be very hard to take. So FYI on those of us who if you're thinking about coming on our programs, we will give you the hard truths. There's no window dressing, because if you really want to fix your career, sometimes it's hard work. It is.
It is hard work. It's not like two snaps and a twist of the wrench.
Even Adrian makes it sound easy. I mean, he does make it sound easy.
It's not easy.
But it's not as hard as it's not as bad.
Okay, when it comes to
we're contradicting ourselves.
No, we are both the yin and the yang. Okay, yin and the yang. But it's not easy, but it's not hard. Okay, and once you get a clarity, you will have your own solutions. See, in fact, what we want to offer our viewers now, there's a special offer that we're going to give you. Okay, I know it's not very salesy. If you want to have a third-party view on your brand, okay, we are happy to do a brand audit for you. Okay, based on your LinkedIn profile alone. Okay, drop me a LinkedIn message. You got my name, Adrian Chu, right? Okay, you drop me a LinkedIn message and say, can you do a quick brand audit for me? Okay. I will look at your profile. Then I will look at your profile, okay, and give you three sentences. We're not going to tell you what to do or what, and then you just see whether or not it's accurate, because that's my perspective from a third party who may not know you, okay, to come in and to tell you what you seem like. Okay, we're not going to give you any advice, because it's not fair, because we don't know you yet. Okay, but only on one condition. On one condition. Like what Jack Nicholson said in Feel Good Man. Can you handle the truth? Okay. If you cannot handle the truth, please don't write in, because we can be a bit too honest sometimes, but it's for your own good. Okay, so if you really want to have an idea of what a third party thinks of and sees your profile, okay,
Yeah.
come just drop
Okay.
us a note. Free brand audit.
If you're listening, this is Adrian's offer. I want to hold back my advice because I've been told sometimes too direct. And even if you can handle the truth, so warning, okay, the warning label is there. Caution, caution. If you do ask me for your brand audit,
I'm looking for a red flag to wave already. It's like be careful, don't.
Yeah. Danger. Caution, hot.
Okay.
Do not enter the kitchen.
Okay. So but sometimes what you want is to have someone to give you a neutral third party view, okay, about your career, where your career seems to be going. Okay, drop me a drop me a LinkedIn message. Say, hey Adrian, I'm thinking of an offer on the brand audit. Please share your 2 cents with me. And I'll make you sign a disclaimer that you you will not take offense at what I say. But okay,
yeah, right. Okay, I don't know. This is such a slippery slope.
It's the first time you're doing this, by the way. So okay, I hope we won't get like 4,000 requests. Okay, but maybe you should limit to the first 40 only. Okay,
first 40.
Maybe just limit to first 40. Okay, so do it quick. Hurry, drop me the note now. Oh, I see 4 messages coming in already. Okay, so quick, you better do it fast. Okay, so I'm starting to regret this already. But anyway,
I worry.
So okay, hurry, just drop me the message.
Move on. Let's move on.
So moving on, the big question: how do I fix my brand? And the way to fix a brand is to get professional help. Okay, let us do a brand audit for you. Okay, we have more than four decades of career advisory experience. Okay, we have placed CEOs, we've placed MDs, we've placed very senior folks. We've also placed positions in very senior leadership roles, and we have helped individuals like yourself to get. You see the clicking. You see everyone's messaging me now already.
I'm worried. Okay.
And it's important for you to have a partner, okay, along this journey ahead. I'm gonna mute the clicks because it's like,
if you think about asking friends or your mentors for their opinion, that helps too, especially if they're going to give you objective feedback or if they know what they're talking about, because occasionally people come with their own opinions on things, and sometimes like your spouse or your relatives, they're a little bit more emotional about it because they just want you to be happy. So please, Amy, it doesn't have to be just us. I'm just saying. I keep trying to tai chi the work away. But if you know people you trust, get more than one opinion, because occasionally when someone goes to Adrian and Adrian tells them something, then they come to me and I tell them something slightly different. And then you go to another person and they're going to tell you something different again. It's all good, but
it's all good.
Synthesize the advice to something that's going to be useful for you. Okay.
Yeah, to each, and you pick and choose the opinions that from people that matter to you, the experts. Okay, and then you synthesize, and you decide what you want to do with the information.
Yeah.
Okay, do come to us with your stuff. Sometimes you get too much information and get overloaded as well. You need someone. We come in and we provide some perspective. Okay, so so anyway, just to come talk to us. info@careersuccess.org. We have our career partner program designed for people like yourself who are looking at either making mid-career switch, looking for a job, or wondering what's next in your career. Okay, come to us. We have one-on-one coaching sessions and everything. But by and large, what we want to share with you today is this. You don't have to go along this career journey alone. Okay, we are here for you. You have any questions, you can come engage us. But more importantly, one of the biggest things that trip us up a lot of times, preventing us from getting to where we want to go, is your brand. Okay, especially if you're considering
the starting point. It's the starting point.
It's the starting point that it's it's dead in the water if you want to do
Yeah.
something but your brand works against you. Like
Yeah.
if Colgate really wants to go into the lasagna business,
It's a different brand.
cannot.
They should rebrand the lasagna into something else. That's what Unilever and P&G,
Yeah,
right?
or
They
a
do that.
second brand or something else.
Different
Do
brand,
you?
a sub brand.
Yeah, correct. It's like
Anyway.
like I think one of the companies that successfully brushed a lot of stuff is Xiaomi. Xiaomi does like vacuum cleaners and hey, by the way, their RoboVacs are fantastic. I've got one. Changed my life.
Okay. All right. Good
Big
for
plug.
you. We have a question. Let's address it before we call it
Yeah,
a day.
let's do it.
The question is, does it help if a resume states in the summary profile at the top what the person's brand is? Like, for example, with the earlier trainer profile, just simply stating he's a trainer, although his early part of his career was in HR. So the answer is yes, it helps. But there's a lot more to it when writing a resume, which I won't address here. So the answer is yes, it does help. And you have to address exactly what it is that he wants to do. So if he's looking to go back into HR, it's a different kettle of fish of what he chooses to write. So it's not just about the branding, right? The branding is a message that has to be consistent across all the collaterals. So the LinkedIn, the resume, the speech, the narrative, how they introduce themselves, all of that has to be consistent. That's why we keep harping on the word branding, because it's the nucleus that has to be consistent.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps.
No, that's true. Actually, thanks for the question. It's excellent. And I also want to remind people that it's not just the CV you need to look at; it's also the LinkedIn, because more people look at your LinkedIn than the CV itself.
Yep.
Okay. And I think it's important that your LinkedIn needs to be aligned to the message you want to send. Okay?
Yep.
And lots of stuff. There's so many components. They're all strung up together. They're all related.
Yes.
Okay.
They're all
you
related.
must have that theory of everything. Okay.
Right. The spine, the nerves, the internal organs, all the muscles, and all the tendons, they're all connected.
Correct. It's like back to the Marvel universe again. It's like Captain Rogers, Steve Rogers, right? Before he goes into the program, right? It's a skinny, scrawny guy. He says, "I want to be a soldier." It's like, nah, you don't look like it. You see, so even though he's got a heart and a mind for it, right? So, yes, you can clearly see. I've been rewatching Captain America over the last weekend.
Okay.
But it's all about everything.
All men are boys.
Yes, I know. And it's all about your branding into what you want to become.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not saying that you can be successful if you use a super serum or some steroids or whatever.
We're also not saying that in order to be successful, just fix your brand. It's more than that. Yeah.
It's more than that. It's more than that. Okay. Yeah. So come up to us if you're in a situation, and we're always happy to take our 2 cents worth. But as I said, to the many people who have already messaged me, and I'm starting to get a bit nervous about this.
I thought you said you were going to turn off the sound.
Yeah, okay. I did, but I'm seeing like a lot of people messaging me now. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries, we will respond to you. Okay. I'll give us some time. But
that's it.
If you have any career questions, WhatsApp, email us, info@careersuccess.org, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. And we want to wish you for our Indian, our Indian viewers out there.
Happy Deepavali.
And happy Diwali, and enjoy yourself. It's an amazing long weekend. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. And for the rest of us, it's a time for us to reflect and spend time with our loved ones too. Okay.
Yep.
And don't forget, exercise. I'm going for another long ride this weekend, so I'm hoping the weather holds up.
Flexing.
Yeah, I know.
But please don't cycle through the cemetery again. That was funny.
I took the wrong turn. Okay, for those of you not in the know, I took the wrong turn last Friday night, and I
went to Bukit Brown, right?
Through Bukit Brown Cemetery. I was like, okay, so one of the fastest rides I had. So I got to get off.
Yeah, I mean, you came out of it with no encounters, so that's a good thing, right? Halloween hasn't started.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Goodness, how do I even end up there? But anyway, have a great weekend ahead, everyone, and take care.
Take care.
Bye.